All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Anime Exclusive. I am Neal.
This is Jared.
Yeah, so we are down a member today. Q is off doing Q things, so we'll just be us two today, and we'll just rock it. Jared, how did you enjoy this week's Tower of God episode?
It's crazy because like there was 2 points that were really important, and the rest of the episode was just garbage to me, and I'm just like, great, like love to see it.
Yeah.
The point that made me feel like it was really garbage was when Wegman, I think his name, was like talking to the little girl about how she has to fit in like a small spot, and that's the most important part. Like that's her point of being relevant, was the fact that she's small. And I'm just like, you're a waste of a character so far, and I'm not here for it.
Are you talking about the girl or Wagman? Because I have my thoughts of Wagman as a character.
No, not Wagman, but like the little girl.
It's
like he was trying to encourage her to go do something, and she was just like, she's like, oh, I don't fit down there. I don't. She's like, I don't know. He's like, you're the only person that can do it. And I'm just like, this whole scene is stupid.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, my thoughts on this new cast have kind of been documented at this point. I don't really like any of them, so they're just kind of here. Until basically, it's just like it's a sports metaphor. They're the bench players until the real players can come back in. Not real players, but like the starters. The better players. Go ahead.
I will say the dude with the gray hair, I feel like he's probably my favorite out of the new group specifically.
Yeah, I mean he's not bad so far. So I feel that. I mean I have kind of the same feelings as this episode. It kind of came in as a setup episode, and I was just like, all right, it is what it is. Like, I'll just kind of get through it. They introduced, new team met the Thug team that Violet's with, Bam's with, and then the blackmail scene at the end kind of is just like, okay, that's why he's on the path that he's on now. And it's kind of that thing I have with Bam not being, like, he doesn't feel like the main character in his own story yet, because right now things are just happening to him.
Right.
He's not actively like shaping his own destiny per se. He's just like, oh well, this is going on. I'm gonna go deal with it. I don't exactly have any other goals except get back to Rachel.
Right.
And so he's kind of just going with it until the time comes, and it's just kind of like, well, in terms of like the compellingness, like being compelling as a main character, that kind of takes away from it. But other than that, I'm just kind of waiting for him to like man up, nut up, and actually like be about it. So because we know everybody knows that he's about that, right? Like everybody in the show, everybody that's watching knows that Bam Viola, he has the skill level to be him.
Right.
But he's just not for whatever reason, and it's just like, all right, man, like pick it up. So
yeah, I agree. I don't know. I'm still waiting for them to figure it out with him. I don't know what's going on, so I'm gonna have to see.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like, it's just like, all right, we got through this week. Next week will it actually pay off, and like the fight will come, and
that's
that dude that they're fighting.
Yep.
The dude that they're fighting is probably going to be a really easy cosplay for a lot of people to do. That's really all I had in terms of like my thoughts on that character.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. I mean, all I got to do is put my piercings back in, put the snapback back on.
Yep.
And then take my shirt off at con, and and get a fake tattoo, and we're good to go.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah, so do you have any thoughts on it before we get into the meat and potatoes of this episode?
Meat and potatoes, no one's saying that. I'm just waiting. I'm just excited for the next fight. That's all I really care about. I'm just like, I'm excited to watch Kun do stuff, and I'm excited for the next fight. Everything else that happens is completely irrelevant to me. Just keeping it a buck.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, they did a good job just saying like, oh, this guy kills rankers.
Yeah.
This guy kills like higher ups. Like this guy's an all-time menace.
Oh yeah.
And Viola's like, all right, well, I guess we're throwing down.
He's like, guess I got to fight now.
So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. He's just like, all right, yet another thing I have to deal with. All right.
Also, I also noticed in this episode they made one key point of when they decided to like make it known that Viola specifically has the ability to copy other people's moves. Like, we knew that was the case before, but they confirmed it officially in this episode, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I don't know if you saw, was it 2 episodes ago where we were talking about that, and I edited like Bam and then Bam with Sharingan.
Yeah.
When we were talking about that.
Yeah.
You saw that, yeah. So I mean that, yeah, he's Viola of the Sharingan. You know,
Facts.
that's just where we're at. So, but yeah, I mean, all right, like let's get down to it. You and I were sitting around talking about what we should do this week.
Yeah.
And I kind of just said, you know what, fuck it, we're just gonna design an anime off the top of our head. And as I kind of thought about it, we can use it to segue to talk about different shows we like, and you'll kind of see what I'm getting at. So
Okay.
First and foremost, I asked you that, like, oh, like if you would make an anime, what would it be? And you gave me a quick answer off the top of your head. So I'll let you take away and kind of do it, because I already do my own writing. I've already designed my own. I already kind of have my own show brewing. I've already written down. Like, I spent a lot of my time writing it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of like, well, you can just wait and see for me to release it one day. But Jared doesn't do this a whole lot. And so we're going to kind of just put Jared through it today. A lot of the exercises that I do for myself. But yeah, Jared, take it away. So, like, if you could design your own anime, just give me, like, the start of it. Go for it.
Alrighty, let's get into it. So I thought about the races that are going to be in the series. And so, like, I thought about, I want angels and elves, dwarves and humans to be all in the same series, and same, like, race, like, in terms of, like, cute, like, the type of people that are in there. I don't know why I just had my brain just, I can't speak. Okay, that was terrible. Anyways, but yeah, so I wanted,
You're good.
I wanted those 4 races inside the series, because, like, I also noticed that, like, when you're watching shows, angels are typically higher than elves, and I kind of want to put them on the same playing field in terms of, like mystical beings or whatever. Same with dwarves and same with humans. Well, I guess humans will probably be lower, because humans are always lower, but that's whatever, right? But obviously, because humans are lower, that means they're gonna have to have a special boost to, like, make them compete with the other races more evenly, because they're gonna have to. Obviously, I'm gonna decide to have these 4 races to be at war. For what reason? No clue, but they're gonna be at war for some reason. And I just I thought about. Yeah, talk to me.
I was just gonna. That was gonna be one of my further questions that you've already kind of answered. Is like,
nice.
Why are they at war? And if you haven't come up with that yet, that's totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, keep going.
All right, so I would give the elves like healing, healing magic specifically, and like healing and curses. Yeah. Healing and curses, because like there's dark elves, and they're gonna ones that have the curses, and then like regular elves are gonna be like the ones that have the healing magic, right? I would grant the angels protection, like they can. So if someone's attacking them, they can protect themselves. They can protect somebody else, and so that's what their power is. Dwarves will be super strength. Yeah, dwarves will be super strength, and I would say the humans would have to be elemental. Because, like, other than that, like, they're probably going to get wiped out by every other race if they don't have, like, a certain amount of, like, powers to go with. And so the elements that I would allow them to use would be earth, fire, wind, water, and lightning.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's fair.
That makes sense. No, that's fair. So you decided for the humans, because the rest of it kind of makes sense. For the humans, you decided to go with the more magic route, because of what I've noticed in a lot of these, like, at least with humans, and it's kind of a big theme in like the Final Fantasy franchise, for example, there's always an element of technology versus magic.
Yeah.
So I was curious if you were going to go the magic route or the technology route, because it could be possible that humans don't have powers, but they just have the technological like know-how to evenly match themselves with the other 3 races. So it's really interesting to me that you picked the magic route. Nothing wrong with it. It's just like, okay, that's the route he's going. So that's pretty cool.
I've seen the technology route way too often, to be honest. It's like they use other people.
Are you talking about Gate?
What? Nah. Honestly, what was I I don't know what I was thinking about. What? Yes. I don't know what show I was thinking about. I have no clue. But I definitely seen it. I've seen it very common. Oh, I remember. It's a manga I read. It's called My Wife is a Demon Queen. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
And so the dude had a magic pen in the series to where he could draw anything he wanted, and anything he would draw, he would create into real life. And I'm just like, nah, I'm gonna do something different.
Oh, dude, no, that's actually really funny, because that reminds me of Levy's power from Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
That's like her script magic, so it's like very similar to that. That makes sense.
For sure.
Okay, cool. So then, how do the elements get designed or get assigned per person? Like how in the universe does it determine like if a person has earth power versus like wind power? Like, you know what I mean? Is it like genetic or
geographically
is it like,
where you're born? So like everyone has a potential for all, but like depending on where you're born is like if you're close to the water, like I'm gonna say like this like let's go with little fairies, right? Like spirit fairies, like for powers, right? The fairies, like if you're born towards close to the water, the fairies come in, and then like when you're born, like the closer you are to water, the more like likely you're gonna have water elements. Of course, you have other elements, but in terms of probability, it's like a 99 percentile that you're gonna get that, right? When you were born in the mountains, like the earth fairies will come through, and like that would create the same system, right? Air, say you have like you're not like I'm going the Avatar route on this one, but just a little different. Is like when you're in the air, so if you're in the sky, you know, like you have like a high, say you live in a skyscraper specifically, let's just assume that they're in modern times to make it easier, but say you had like a higher upbringing, right? Maybe royalty, who knows, but like the air fairies would come through, and then like that's how you would get your powers. And so I think that'd be pretty cool, like if you live near a volcano or like a heat situation, like the fairies of that element would come through and grant you those powers. I think that'd be pretty dope.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, that makes sense. All right, and so in this case, having that information, let's dive into your characters.
Yes.
So, who's the main character of the show? Just what's his name?
His name is Kai. He's a human. He's definitely
Kai.
Human. Yeah.
Kai's human. Okay, cool. And I mean, I kind of mentioned this earlier because of the fact that Kai in Japanese has more of like water and like kind of healing undertones. Mm-hmm. Is he more of like a water wielder then, or
I think
are you gonna just go full subversion on this and just say like, oh, he rocks with earth even though his name is like a water based, like, you know?
I'm gonna say he was a human that was born with the angels. Like at some point during the war, he was a war baby. And like, you know, like a story from the Bible where he was placed in placed in another situation to where he just got raised by angels. They didn't know why his wings never grew out. They're trying to figure him out, and so they tried a bunch of science experiments to try to like figure out how to get him to have the angels, because they thought like that was their child. Turns out he wasn't. He was actually human this whole time. That's what I'm going with.
Okay, cool. And so, being human raised among angels, at what point does he discover that he's human, and how does everyone around him react?
Remember when I said about how they're spiritual beings with power? I'm gonna go with the fact that every single power system in that world has like little fairies that like grant you powers, right? And so when he was younger, like because he was around angels, but due to the fact that he was human, he had the potential. Because he's the only one of his kind. He had the potential to have like the other elements, but because he was raised with the angels, he has healing powers. I think that's what it was, right? The angels have healing. Yeah, he has healing powers. Yeah.
So you said the elves have the healing powers and the angels have protection powers.
Okay, so protection. So he has protection. So you can do the berries and stuff, right? But at some point, he noticed that he was different, probably around the age like 12 to 15, I would say. He noticed that he was different. The fact that his wings never grew out, he was trying to figure out why. I'm gonna say the humans have these tattoos that like light up when they use their elements or powers, and so like that's another distinguishing factor. Is like when he was 12, I'm gonna say that's when you would get your wings. He ended up getting tattoos instead, and that's what made him find out he was human. Yeah, that makes it a lot easier. So like you're developing your powers, you're trying to use them right, and you see tattoo markings on your body, like for remember Young Justice where they had Atlantis, where they had those tattoos, basically the same thing.
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty cool.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, no, yeah, that would be cool. And then kind of delving into more Kai, like so, let's start with weaknesses. Like so, for example, a lot of or weaknesses or flaws. For example, like looking at the main characters, like Naruto, his weakness is kind of his lack of intelligence. Deku's is that he cries a lot, you know, like he cries like a little bitch at basically every opportunity. Rock Lee's is that, you know, like he likes to run his mouth but doesn't actually accomplish much.
I feel like you're just using
or
this
like
as a
Asta, even though it's there's a part of me that's just enjoying throwing shade at two of my least favorite characters.
Yeah, I can tell.
But like, or for example, like Asta, where like his power is from his lack of power, but in universe that is technically a weakness.
Right.
Right. So like what is like your character's like flaw, or it could be just like.
Let's make this really easy. Let's just look at it as like this one's weak to this one, this one's weak to this one. It's like a circle of like their like it's like a circle of like all the races, right? Like I would say healing.
No. Yeah. So right, so we'll circle back to that in a bit. But when I say weakness, what I mean is like what is his character flaw? Like. Yeah. Like I mean, you know me as a person. Like you're aware. Like if I was the main character, you would know that like I'm kind of an asshole. Like, so like, what is his like? What is his like? What's his deal? Like what's his what's his like character like flaw? I guess. What makes him human?
What makes him human? I'm trying to think about it. What would be? Because like if I'm gonna find a way to make him human, I'd also have to find a way to make him grow out of it. And so I'm gonna stick with the whole solo level trope for sure. He had strong determination to become better than who he is, but he's still like kind of weak in the world that he's set in. You know what I mean? And so like, just I'm just thinking about like how like Jinwoo would like he started out as the weakest Ewing hunter like ever, right? And like he had the work ethic and that the try hard to like get to where he was at, but like he just wasn't strong enough until he tapped into his powers. And so I would say that like because like Jinwoo, like in my opinion, like I always looked at him as like mentally like he was there. He could have been that older version of himself from the beginning. He just never had the tools for it, and so that's why I think I'm gonna adapt that to my main character because Jinwoo is my favorite character of all time. Yeah, I had to drop that in there.
Okay, that makes sense. So then, like, so he's obviously, so to kind of expand on that, he's obviously, working his way up. Like, Kai's going to be working his way up.
Yeah.
What is the thing that keeps getting in his way? Like, what is the thing about Kai that stops him from reaching his full potential? Because I don't think very few people actually ever fully reach their potential.
Okay.
Right?
I think I'm going to say he has a frail body.
What is the thing that keeps getting in his way?
He has a frail body. So, like, the spirits that was supposed to be there to, like, help him, like, mature into a young adult were never there because he was in a different, like, realm, I would say. Like say he was all on the same earth. Because he was in the angel realm, specifically, the human realm is different. So, like, if he was in the human realm specifically, like that would nurture his body to grow the way it needs to. So because of the fact that he's in the angel realm, his body didn't mature the same way. Like he's just smaller than most people. He's skinnier. He doesn't have the strength he needs that he would normally have. I would say he's just more frail in general.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Okay, that makes sense. So then kind of going back to kind of more of his backstory. Mm-hmm. So Kai finds out he's human. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And since they're all at war and the angels obviously also find out that he's human, what's stopping them from just killing him right away?
Got it. Only his parents found out that he was human. And so his parents were like, we don't want you to die.
His angel parents?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're like, you're clearly human, and so we're going to send you off to like find your people because if you stay here, they will kill you, and we don't want that.
Okay, so it's only his parents that know. All right, cool. Okay, that makes sense. And so how does that journey go about? Like, so I guess let's put it this way. Yep. How old was he when he and his parents found out that he was human?
He was 12.
Right. And then what's that?
He was 12.
He was 12? Okay, cool. And how old is he at the beginning of the story? So, for example, does this happen like episode 1, or is it like this is backstory and we meet up with him when he's like 16, 18, 20, like, and he's already found people? Like,
I would.
You know what I mean?
This is definitely going to be like start of the story, he's 15. He found out when he was 12. He's been on a journey for about 3 years of trying to figure out, like, find himself, whatever, or find, like, his people, right? So, like, let's just say his parents are like, hey, like, I'm gonna set you guys off, go through this portal, and then you go through this portal, and that's how you get to the human realm, or whatever. I don't know, it's kind of a plot hole, but I'll just take it on the chin. But
no,
yeah.
I mean, plot holes fill up later on. That's that's the whole point. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. So then, I guess we'll kind of skip towards the middle end of this arc that he's gonna go on.
Mm-hmm.
Are his parents also fighters in the war, and will he have to fight
They're
his parents
scientists.
eventually?
They're scientists.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's why they
so
were.
they don't ever have to worry about.
And that's why they were studying, trying to figure out why he doesn't have any wings, because they're like, there should be signs of your power. Like there should be signs of the fact that you don't have wings. You know what I mean? And that's why they were like, what's going on? That they were the ones solely doing the research, and that's how they found out that he's a human. They're like, oh no, how did this happen? So yeah.
Okay, that makes sense because obviously, if you had to face off against your parents in a battlefield, that would be such a big character moment. I was just wondering if that was the route you were going.
The route I'm going
direction,
in terms of how I want the overarching theme is the fact that because he came from the angel world, he knows that the angels are bad, and because he's going into the human world, he's going to find out the humans are bad, and so he's trying to figure out what orchestrated this war.
Okay, cool. So no one knows what actually started the war.
Nah. They've just been hating each other for years.
Okay, so they've just been fighting this whole time?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, and I guess that kind of goes back to the world building. How long has this war been going on?
10,000 years.
1,000 years?
10,000. Because that should be long enough to put past anybody's path. Say if the angels live longer, because angels and elves live longer than any human, and so the dwarves live pretty long. And after watching Faerun, we know that 1,000 years is pretty common for them to live. You know what I mean? And so that's why I thought, okay, cool, 10,000 years. Yeah. No one's gonna be alive for 10,000 years. I can guarantee you that much. And so no one's gonna remember anything that happened that far back.
Okay, that makes sense. And I guess so now that they're okay. So then. Humans, angels, elves, dwarves, yeah?
Yeah.
In those 10,000 years, were any other races involved and have been wiped out?
No. It's just
it's just been
the power structure of the world is where pretty much every single power is if you had a circle, you could see that this power is weak to this one, this power is weak to this one, this power is weak to this one, this power is weak to this one. So they're all synonymous. No one's stronger than the other one. So there's no shit to power. It's just an endless stalemate. Except for that's when the main character steps in. That's why we brought him in.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm a little disappointed that you didn't include a fifth nation of furries and they didn't completely get wiped out.
That's that's something you would do. That is something you would do specifically.
Absolutely. No, I know. That's why I'm saying I'm disappointed that you would.
But honestly though,
but
I feel you, but in actual shows, Beast Kid are dope as fuck. That's what I'm they're just cool characters to have in the series.
No, I think with me personally, and we're gonna kind of digress a little bit.
Yeah.
I am totally on board with Beast. I am on board with Beast people. I'm just disappointed that people aren't aware of the sacrifices that made it happen. Sho Tucker from Full Metal Alchemist was trying to make Beast people. And for some reason, people are just really mad about it. I don't understand.
Couldn't tell you, but yeah, that's why I'm Beast Kid are pretty fun. They're I like them in this. I like them in different shows, Gilmore Zero. That was a fun one where he was a cool character.
No, I get you. I'm just
One Piece.
I got you. I'm just a massive furry hater.
I know. That's why I'm
it is very well
the conversation
in my lore.
It's not that deep. Anyways. But
no. So anyways, okay, cool. So you have Kai kind of fleshed out.
You make me want to add them just to piss
What does his party look like? I know you would, but what does Kai's party look like? Is he traveling by himself? Does he have a crew around him?
Yes, he's by himself right now. Absolutely. Here's what I want by himself right now.
No, I don't want
people to know what his situation yet. So the 12 the flashbacks are happening, whatever. He's 15 right now, right? He's been meeting other humans across the lands or whatever, and because of the fact that he spent so much time in a different realm, let's just say he has a better relationship with the spirits than other humans, right? Because he was a human, they all have the ability to gain these powers. I'd say he has the ability to talk to the spirits because of the parents that he grew up with, and that's just kind of how they, like, you know, the divine protection I was talking about, like, because they have that ability, they can talk to the spirits. Now, the spirits don't necessarily take sides in this world, but like they have the ability to do that, right? Like, hey, we need some power here, protection, you know, boom, cool, right? And so the reason why I bring this up is because I want to give him the ability to like grab other abilities from other worlds, like other things. And so because he was a human, and the way humans get their powers is it gets transferred to them by the spirits. He talks to the spirits, and the spirits are like, hey, we don't want this war to go on anymore. We're tired of our brother and our spirits like dying. Can you be our person to like go out and try to like stop it? So now you gotta go find the cause, and so he goes to different nations. He's been going to different nations. He's been like talking to the spirits and like just trying to get every single power he could, you know, like Avatar kind of thing. And that's just how he got his powers. So now he has he has 5 of them.
Okay, so you're saying that
4, 6, yeah. He would be the reason that tipped the scales.
Like he spent the past 3 years. That what?
Well, repeat that. Repeat that.
Oh no.
Cut out.
You're saying that what? He's the reason that what?
I would say he's the power that tips the scales. You know how like I said that everything is pretty like level playing field across the board.
Balance.
He's now the reason why it's unbalanced. And I figured out who started the war in my head. So yeah, nice.
Okay, that's good. Okay, cool. And we'll let you. we'll let you figure that out. We'll keep that one a mystery for now.
Fair enough.
But like so. With him, because you're saying he's traveling. Obviously, he was raised by angels. He's gonna go meet up with the humans. Does he ever interact with the dwarves and the elves at any point in his like solo journey? And how does that go about shaping his identity?
I would say that he I'd say he in terms of like in Tower of God, you know how Baum has the ability to like have people like want to root for him, right? I'd say his like over the course of his journey, he like might have ran into some people here and there, like on accident, and like spent like a short period of time with them, just getting to know them, like get to know like a small version of the culture, right? And like he meets like a nice family at each world or whatever, and like that family he met initially was very nice to him, very kind, very compassionate, right? But then people find out that he was with them, and so like he was chased out of their village, and that was like a reoccurring theme of like hurt that he would get from other people when he's still trying to figure out who he is. He's still an adolescent kid trying to like become better, so he's going to the world. He might stay there for a couple months. Like they take him in, they treat him nice, and then they're like, oh, you're not one of us, and so they started throwing stuff at him and just chase him out. And so that's the route I'm gonna go with that one specifically.
Okay, yeah. No, that makes sense. All right. And you're saying that he's going by himself right now, right?
Yes.
So let's say you separate your show into seasons.
Okay.
At what point does he form a team? Like, what season does he get a team around him?
Season 2.
Season 2.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So the first season is kind of just it's kind of very Tower of God-ish, where like the end of or Tower of God or like or Classroom of the Elite, where at the end of season 1 is like, no, this is what the show's actually about. Is it one of those?
It's definitely a build up. Like the first season, I'd give it 24 episodes if I could, you know, because like that gives me enough time to flush out where he's at in the story. Gives you time to give you visual background of like what's happening with his past, and then it gives you the explanation of the word a little bit of like what's going on and stuff. So that way you can like separate the story from him and go back to the battle explaining it. You know, like what they did in 7 Deadly Sins. And so like I would give it like a good 24 episodes to just like get you caught up on what the world is, you know. And then from there, after season 1, you're like after season 1, it'd be like, okay, like he's like everyone's just trying to like survive. Like what's going on? He's like, I've talked to the fairies don't like what's going on either. Who started this war? He looks up to the sky and then he cuts.
Fair enough. Okay, good. And before I ask my next question, now that I've kind of given you a little bit of time to think about it, would you actually write this out or no? Or is it just
No.
like an exercise and you'll just kind of forget about it after this
No,
episode?
I think what we should do is this should be an ongoing exercise of me cremating the show off of
Okay, good.
off of like the podcast. Like it's a
Yeah,
remake an anime kind of thing, but don't expect it to go anywhere because I've never seen anyone do this before, and I kind of like the exercise, so it's kind of dope.
Yeah, no, and that's so one of the main reasons I'm like doing this exercise is because because the whole point of this podcast is, you know, obviously to talk about anime.
Yeah.
We can approach we can approach all the shows we watched in the past.
Oh, yeah.
Any conversation we can have. You've at least done this exercise, so you can be like, oh, that's what the writer's thinking.
Okay.
Oh, this is where the story could go,
Sure.
but instead they went this way. Like that's kind of the whole point of this exercise. We're just doing it on camera, just because it's fun and we needed a topic to talk about today. But like,
30 minutes in, and we're going strong.
But these are the kinds of exactly. So like these are the kinds of conversations that like authors, artists, manga, you know, they have with themselves or even like with an editing team. So I guess off the top of your head, the reason I ask this is because in your head do you already kind of have an ending in mind, and you know, or like how would you like to see it end?
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess is kind of the. Okay, so you're just not going to answer it because you want to just keep it in suspense?
Do you want me to answer it? But I don't know. It depends.
It depends. That's up to you. That is entirely up to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it off camera. I'll tell you later, but like, I'll keep it off camera for sure. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Because I was gonna say like the only time I've ever heard of a writer, there's only two instances where I've heard of a writer telling people the ending of the story. Number one was Oda when the kid was dying, and you know, wanted to know how the One Piece ended.
Sure.
So that's good. And the second one was when George R.R. Martin told the writers of the Game of Thrones show how the story would end, so that they could kind of wrap it up, and they completely dropped the ball. Yes, I'm still absolutely I'm still very mad about that. By the way, and I will never forgive them. And any project that they're a part of in the future, I'm rooting against them.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
anyways,
podcast,
so that's. Huh?
So this is an anime podcast. You're talking on the wrong topic, fam.
No. It is an anime podcast, but we're talking about writing. And what I'm saying is that that is an example of what bad writing will do to a franchise.
Edit exclusive.
So that's what that is.
I got you.
So and anybody who's seen the original Game of Thrones shows can relate to what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I get it.
But yeah, man. So it's good that we went through that exercise. I mean, is there anything else you want to add? Like, for example, even though your other party members wouldn't be added till season 2, have you put into any thought of who they might be, what race they might be, what their flaws, what their strengths are? Have you done any of that work at all? Because
the only thing I know for sure is each party member needs to be from a different race. So
okay, cool.
I'm gonna say there was a girl that was
right,
like Angel that he like grew up with, and like she fell in love with him, and so like she went to, like after she found out from his parents that he was no longer there. She doesn't know why, but he was no longer there. She went to go find him. The family that was he was chilling with the elves.
Fair enough.
Like there was a child that was just there with them. That was just like this guy's different, and then he like after he gets chased out, the child's trying to figure out why, but they don't know what's going on. So like they're like, I'm gonna go find my friend, and so stuff like that was going on. Probably at every
okay, that makes sense.
Point.
All right, so then in season 2 when they all party up, has there been a time skip after season 1? So for example, backstory, he leaves when he's 12. Season 1, he's 15. Season 2, does it reach to 3 more years have gone by, they're all 18? Or is it right away that they meet?
Yeah, I think we should do that, so that way it parlays into, you get to see what each of the other characters' journey was like trying to go find him. Like they're going after the rumors, the stories, like what's going on.
Okay.
They're trying to figure it out, but they can't. And so they're like, what's going on?
Okay, so you would want there to be a time skip between seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
But
how many years do you think?
I think 3 would be good because at least he's an adult. So that way, like the time, like what happened the first 12 years, that was all backstory while he's going through his life as a 15-year-old. Then like it was like it's not really a time skip per se. It's more of a flashback. And so that way, there's not too many time skips too early in the series. That's a lot. So like I'm just gonna say with flashbacks. So like you would see something, go back to what happened, and then go back to the present. You know. So that's how I'm gonna go about that.
Yeah, for sure.
So like after he's like now that he's 15, he gets to go to the different worlds, right? We already like he's like going off to do his own thing, and it's like after he's like remembering the shit that's happened to him, he's just like, oh, this is so bad, right? You would then see like the people that he met in those flashbacks, and then you could see their journey of trying to find him a little bit here and there. But let's say they all meet up with him in about 3 years by hearing about different things that this person was doing. Is like that sounds like my friend, and so they follow the tales of like their friend trying to find him, and then fast forward to like I'd say halfway through season 2, it's about like the 12th episode mark is when they find him.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay, yeah, I mean that's all right. So then I guess this is just like a fun kind of question that I kind of just want to throw out there, because you mentioned that like his party members, they're all going to be 18 and up. In your head, if you were to put this in animation, how much fan service would you put into it?
I did not think about that at all. I'm not even gonna lie.
Right, but because I mean, like, I guess okay. So for example,
I do the basics.
How subtle? Because I mean, What's up?
I'd make it. I do the basic stuff. I'd probably do the basic stuff to where like that.
What is the basic stuff? Because I mean, anime fan service always has.
Yeah.
There's kind of different tiers to it. There's obviously like the really obnoxious ones like Fairy Tail or like Fire Force, where like Fire Force literally has a character that's designated to be the fan service running gag. Like there's like egregious fan service, or there's like middle tier fan service where it's like, for example, what's that show called? I'm blanking on it. Chainsaw Man, where like Makima's got like when she's putting on like when like she's sitting in a chair and like they do like a quick pan up of her backside, or what's that called? Or like Run Man Appare, like where we're talking about like with where we had the.
Here's the thing though, when it comes to a lot of fan services. Like they might not have that in the manga whatsoever, but then the anime decided to just do it itself. So like
right, but that's what I'm asking. Like, how much would you put that in? So, for example, even in Attack on Titan, they have very, very, very subtle moments of fan service that like you wouldn't notice unless someone pointed it out.
Right.
So, like I guess like how subtle would you try to? If you were talking about the anime, if you were sitting in the animator's room, what would your instruction be?
First off, I want to get to the fact that like his weakness was the fact that he was like frail, and so because he's been journeying on his own for so long, and it's been about 6 years, I'd say that journey alone got him to like be like really buff and like solid. You know, he's like a buff character, so he's good.
Yeah, he's solid.
He's gonna be a stud at
for
that
sure.
point. He's gonna be a stud for sure.
Right.
And so like I want this guy to have
right. There's
big
that
chest and like huge muscles, so that way fits
No,
pointed towards the girl specifically.
That's fan service.
And I'm debating on if I want
correct.
the elves that like be like slimmer bodies or whatever, because that's typically what elves are in like in terms of like the stories I'm trying to write. I mean, the stories are like I've noticed is either the elves are like really like slim and then the angels are like very busty. I'm debating if I want to flip that just to be funny. I have no clue.
I think you could, yeah. I mean, it's a subversion of the trope, which is great. This is a good thing to be thinking about. But also, I mean, Free Ren. But also, like Free Ren was kind of mainly just because I want to bring this up just to let the animators know they're not slick. The subtle like foot fetish scenes in Free Ren, especially like during like when Serie was like dipping her feet in the water and then bringing it up to the camera and waving her toes around, like that wasn't slick at all. Like,
I missed that.
Even that, like, yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So like, would you do stuff like that?
Nah.
Right? Nah, you wouldn't do stuff like that?
Nah, I feel like it's just a waste of time.
As a gag, That's fair enough. As a gag, I was talking about this with someone. I was like, if I was animating my own thing, I would do that for the foot fetish people, but then immediately have the foot get chopped off, just to kind of like ruin it for them. And then someone was like, gore is a fantasy. Like, gore is a fantasy too, right? And I was just like, fuck, never.
Good on you for appealing to every community.
Yeah, no, just yeah. Accidentally pleasing one community while flipping off another. But okay, no, that's really cool. So with the you said that the angel girl liked Kai. Obviously, that kind of relationship would be frowned upon by society. Like all societies, how would that kind of impact everything? And also, like, obviously, all four of these all four of these characters from different countries that all hate each other, how do they kind of figure it out amongst themselves? Because there's gonna be a lot of animosity and kind of bigotry that comes with like four nations coming together that all hate
honestly
each other.
I'm gonna let them hate each other for a while. Like it's gonna be in those battle scenes to where like one of them saves another, and then that's where they're like, maybe you're not so bad. Or like one of them's like they're all just like, hey, we love you, like the main character, or like we're here for you, but like him I don't really care about, kind of thing. And so like they'll fight amongst themselves, and the main character will be like, stop being stupid, and they'll be like, oh, okay.
Okay, like fair enough. So then I guess the next question would be, would any of the party members ever try to kill another party member in their sleep?
Nah. Because all of them were pretty suspicious from the start with what was going on with the war. Like all of them were like, this doesn't seem right, And
so they wouldn't. Okay.
Yeah. But they still have like
open hatred, but kind of a general mistrust.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't kill you, but I don't fuck with you. Go sleep over there.
Yeah.
Like, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, that's perfect.
I'm definitely gonna add the fact that because of everything that he did go through at such a young age, he's definitely more jaded than everybody else. Like he's like angry, not at the people that's doing it to him, but like the reason why
he just has a lot. He's not angry at anybody. He's just angry.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, if you can get Snickers to sponsor an episode, I'm pretty sure. You're not you when you're angry. Sorry. No, but like, no. I mean, it's good that you're thinking about stuff like that, because then it, I mean, you've been studying psychology for the past few years, so you know how those character interrelationships will work out from a psychological standpoint. So that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I think like I think the way I'm gonna do it is like the general consensus of when he's like not thinking about the war, he's a very happy like chill person. Like he's very like, I'm cool. Like if Shoto from My Hero was like more personality, he'd be more like that. He's like, I'm chill, like I'm just enjoying life, and he's cool. But like when you start talking about the war, you can see him the side of his face get like really dark, and then you can see like the laser in his eyes. He's just like really angry. He's just like, why are we talking?
Yeah,
about
that's.
the war?
I mean, that's his trigger point. Like that's that's his trigger point.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
makes sense. Okay, cool. So we talked a little bit about the party. Who are the villains? Right? Because I assume that, like, in order for there to be kind of world peace, because that's what I see, like, in order to end the war, you kind of have to remove the people that are for the war.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I assume that those characters would be, up there in terms of, like, the political power in the world. So how would they go about fixing things? Like, how would they go about, because you said, like, they're trying to get to the bottom of this, but there's going to be people there's going to be characters that are trying to get in their way.
Yeah.
how would they go about navigating that?
I'd
How would
say
they
for
go
the
about ending this?
it's the
war?
high elves. It was the high elves that are
Okay.
the issue. I'd say for the angels, it'd probably just be like archangels. For the dwarves, it'd probably be the high dwarves, and then for the humans, it'd definitely be the government. So the highest stature that you can reach in each like race, they're the ones that are the problem.
Okay, good. Okay, cool. So then they're going around. One of the reasons I asked is this, right? Like this part is making me think of one of the things I'm writing, right? It's very similar plot structure to what I'm kind of working. So one of the ones I'm working on.
Okay.
So let's just say, for example, they decide to take out the high dwarves first, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the moment that they do that, the other three countries, for lack of a better term, are gonna find out what's to stop them from just all bum rushing and just wiping out all the dwarves right then and there.
So no one has that, because no one party has that much power to wipe out the other party.
Okay, just making sure there's a check and balance in place.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean that's just something that I would want to take. And so with each of these kind of like high seated characters in each of like the worlds, is it just one high elf, one archangel, one high dwarf, one person in the government, or is it like an entire body of government? Like is there
8 at the top and then a system underneath?
Okay, cool. So they literally have to topple 4 world governments essentially to end this war.
Correct. But it goes deeper than that.
That's fair enough. No, yeah. And then so that means they'd probably end up building an army along the way, huh?
I'm not going to answer that yet.
Thinking like a true writer, I like that. No, yeah, man, that's good. All right, yeah, I mean I guess because we might end up just having a shorter episode, and that's okay. Is there any other final thoughts that you want to share in the meantime regarding like this story that you're creating, or like this exercise that we're doing today?
Nah, I'm chilling. This is good. This is a very entertaining series. I mean, I'm enjoying it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean you're getting your creative juices flowing, and you're talking about like how you're taking your decades of experience watching anime, and now you're kind of pulling from it and being like, oh, this is like this thing that I'm creating for an exercise. Yeah, man, that's really awesome. Also, just as a side benefit, you once told me you would never brainstorm your own anime, and I managed to get you to do it, so I'm kind of really proud of myself for that. And you seem like you're enjoying it too, is the best part, because it wouldn't have been as fun if you didn't like this thing that you're starting to create.
If I had an outline, we wouldn't be doing this right now, all right? It's so like...
No, yeah, but that kind of works.
Like, you know what? Whatever. It works.
No, you're right. I'm patting myself on the back, but it seems like you're thinking of, like I said earlier, one of the reasons I'm having you do this, one for, obviously it's kind of like, I got Jared to do something. But, like, the other thing is now you're also taking this experience that you have today and kind of apply it to shows like One Piece, Naruto, Tower of God. Like, these shows that we watched in the past and are going to watch in the future, and you can kind of see where things kind of are and where they're going. Like, there's moments where I've predicted certain things that are going to happen and you've gotten mad at it. Right?
Because
one of the reasons for that is I've done exercises like this.
Got you.
Right? No, but like because I've done exercises like these on my own time because of my own writing. And so it's like, okay, I've seen these patterns. Okay, I see where it's going.
Right.
Now you can kind of start to do that as well.
No, I'd rather just enjoy the episode. Don't do that.
No. What I'm saying is I think that will actually help you enjoy anime more, is what I'm saying.
Maybe.
Like, you get to enjoy it in a different way. either that or I've just absolutely and accidentally, I stress accidentally, ruined anime for you.
Very possible.
I hope I didn't. But I think in a way it will enhance your anime experience ever so slightly, and I'm really excited for future conversations about this show that you're kind of creating and just having like this level of depth of conversations through other shows that we're going to be watching in the future. So
fair enough.
That being said, man, everybody like, comment, subscribe. Anime Exclusive Podcast. Follow us on our socials. And we'll see you next time. Peace out.